seen that there was a Squirtle sprite added. That looks fantastic. Same
Yeah.
with the fact that there's a Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah, the Squirtle one looks really good.
And it looks like we're getting going here. Uncle is not carrying a sword, which is a little indicator that he would have a sword for escape. So
Yeah.
no sword escape tonight.
It's interesting though, they got a 5-bomb upgrade. So if they get bombs from the uncle, they're gonna have 15 bombs instead of 10.
Very true, and which is nice and makes bomb escape a little friendlier. Bomb escape is probably the most harrowing as it is to deal with your final boss in escape, the lone rat with the key.
Yeah, that's definitely the biggest offender of the bomb start, but we get a Keen of Berna, and I looked a little bit in BIOS before the race started here, and that's actually the favorite weapon for Vinyl to start with. So
what's really nice about the Cane of Berna is once you realize that it will knock your enemy straight up, regardless of where you're at. Ooh, flippers. That's a nice early find. The Cane of Berna will continue pushing the enemy straight up, so pin them up against the north wall, and you're good. It clears them pretty quickly.
yeah, for sure. The only negative thing I would say about the Cane of Berna start is the minimal possibilities of farming for bombs, but we have a couple of chests to search on the way, so we might get bombs in one of those instead.
There is that, and also the rope room as we escape in the sewers is quite nice to check there. It's fairly high density, and you get a lot of bang for your buck with magic consumption. The other thing with the Cane of Berna is it does have that startup mana cost, or magic cost, which is not the nicest.
Yeah, the magic consumption is definitely something to keep in mind. There's a couple of pots in Escape as well, where you can get some extra magic if needed.
Ooh, and Takaze finding his first bomb, which is a nice find.
Yeah, that's
And
excellent again.
the power glove.
Ooh, yeah, that's also very nice to have early, especially if you don't get that bomb drop.
Indeed, it means you can come back here relatively quickly once you've hit Kakariko and bought some bombs. So not getting escape is not going to be the biggest deal, but it's still going to be a time loss for either racer if they don't get that bomb. So Vinyl's now on the tip to catch that bomb. I don't blame either racer for using pot strats here. They do, I think, 3 damage each, so 2 pots is enough to kill the Ball and Chain Knight. So as we make our way back up out of Escape, I just wanted to give a quick shout out, one, to the racers. They've put on great races so far, and they continue to do so. As well, you know, to everyone who's made this tournament a possibility. The size of it and how quickly it came up is impressive, and the amount of people needed behind the scenes to make it happen is huge. So every single person, from everyone who's organized it, to the restreamers, to the trackers, they all make this happen. So it's a great event to see. So a big thank you to everyone who makes this happen.
Yeah, for sure. And special shout outs to Carissa, our tracker today, and Synek, the restreamer.
Indeed, thank you both. And Vinyl getting his bomb drop. So we both have bombs. We won't see any rope clearing. I'd expect maybe a quick grab of one of the pots to get a little bit of magic here in the first room, but nothing else really.
Yeah, at this point, it's just go through Escape as fast as possible.
I think we're still on par for a 6.5 minute escape. which is really a reasonable time to get out of here.
Yeah, without having the guaranteed sword to start off with, the escape can be a little bit slower sometimes.
Ooh, both of them going for a quick clear. Hoping to find bombs to make Kakariko a little bit nicer, but no bombs found on either side.
Well, we got them anyways.
Indeed.
Yeah, that's gonna give them enough bombs to check everything in Kakariko without buying bombs before that.
That's a fantastic find, which is a good position to be in for them. And Vinyl dispatches his knight, or his rat, quite quickly. Same with Takaze.
So back of escape not holding too much, but it's always nice to have that out of the way anyway, so you don't have to come back to this place ever again.
Indeed, and an extra chunk of cash, so we're at 56 rupees, is nice. It means if we find a couple of good rupees in everything in Kakariko, we can get the bottle vendor.
Yeah, well, when you bomb the back of what's it called, Blind Spot and the well, it gives you a total of 50 rupees, but never mind, I got 300 rupees from Sanctuary as well.
There's one of the 5 locations for 300 rupees tonight. I always find it interesting. Sometimes you'll find like 3 or 4 of them right off the bat.
Yeah, and we saw a very quick map check there, but I didn't really catch any of the dungeons.
I did not catch anything. That was a super fast map check. And it looks like a heart pull for our tree pull tonight for tier 2. Not spectacular. And the Hoarder's gathering hearts tonight. It's a healthy seed to start. And that looks like a rupee, maybe a 50 rupee on the Lumberjack ledge. Yep.
So according to chat, we have the blue pendant on Eastern and Desert and Hera as normal crystals.
Thank you a lot, chat. Thank you for those sharp eyes.
Yeah, and having 2 crystals in the Light World is that's pretty nice to have, because the Light World dungeons are normally faster to do than the Dark World.
Ooh, Cane of Samaria in the ledge here. One of those chase items if we have Mire or Turtle Rock on the docket.
Yeah, both canes within 8 minutes.
Do they think these racers are old and need a cane to walk? Like, come on, Seed.
Okay, so now we're getting into the bulk of the first checks here in Sphere 1. There's a lot of items to check here in Kakariko. Quake is interesting. Fire Rod is, I think, a little bit more interesting.
I like having that fire source early, and also a decent damage dealer if needed.
Yeah, and the Fire Rod is more or less going to be required most of the seeds. So.
Indeed. It looks like both racers are going to grab all the money they can as they're going through this, just to make sure they can probably run up to Zora and check everything up there with their South Shore check.
Yeah, and with both the gloves and the flippers puts that in logic, so...
And not having to go back up to Zora is always a nice chance. It's
yeah,
ooh, Moon Pearl and the bow. Oh, loaded well. And another 300 rupees.
Yeah, I would be pretty happy to see a well like that every single time for sure.
Oh, so our racers can do bottle check and they can go. Oh, great. 10 arrows. Thanks, bottle vendor.
Well,
There's one of our financial lessons tonight.
at the very least we can use them. And speaking of the bow,
Oh no, did Takaze drop his bomb? He
yeah,
did.
it looks like. But with that bow, it's gonna be interesting if any of them decide to do an early Eastern check. With the fire rod makes one of the dark rooms a little bit easier as well.
And a little bit of lag on VinylKnight's side, so I could not see what he got from the back of the tavern.
Yeah, it sounded like money.
It did, but I didn't see his money go up substantially, so maybe 5 rupees. $20. One of the big 20s that are 1 in 8 chance of being found.
So VinylKnight decides to not do the race game straight away, just checking what we have there instead, and it turns out to be the right decision because that is nothing required at all.
Just an arrow capacity upgrade. Not a. No one's going back for it, but it's nice to know it's there. Knowledge is power in this in the randomizer community by and far.
Yeah, for sure.
And knowing is half the battle.
Knowing can definitely make you route differently and give you an upper hand.
Yep, I've had a couple of races where knowledge completely changes playstyle, and it's very evident, especially with good racers like this, that's why they check the Lumberjack Cave. I'm wondering if we'll get a Lake Hilly. Well, we'll get a Lake Hilly check pretty quickly when we're going to check Hobo as well. So. What was sunk under the dam tonight? We'll know in about a second. Just a little bit of love. I think that's like the second piece of heart we've seen tonight. Not a lot of health early on.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm wondering if this will be an unhealthy seed, which can be rough if they're forced into the Dark World early and have to deal with Mothula, for example. Once we find a sword, that will be in play.
Yeah, not having a lot of hearts early and not a lot of other safeties as well. The only real safety they have right now is the King of Berna. That's always an interesting position to be in.
A little bit of archery practice from VinylKnight. Three big 20s, and pretty much nothing else except another heart.
Yeah, the heartbeats was definitely the most hype thing in that cave.
You know it's going to be a good seed when that's hype. Vinyl making a sweet dodge on that crab, which will do 2 hearts at this point to him. And crabs really do hurt.
Yeah, especially when you only have 4 or 3 hearts. Takaze is still on 3 hearts, so I don't think they picked up that one from.
They didn't pick up the heart that was sunk underneath the dam, so that's where they're different. And another 20. Ooh, these overworld checks are not panning out for these racers tonight. Oh, the crabs are congregating around your cave, Takaze. Be careful.
Yeah, handled it very nicely though.
About 7 or 8 20s and, 2 300s. So Vinyl's probably going to either check the island on his way back, which would make sense. Just to know what's on there.
Yeah, we have some hard-earned money so far, and we're gonna lose most of it straight away.
The one thing that always hurts me is when you go to Zora, pay 500 rupees, and get a single green rupee in response.
Yeah, that's pretty rude. Ooh, there's another heart piece, so that's gonna be a refill for Takaze. And speaking of heart pieces, there's another one on the Lake Hailey Island.
I don't think either of our racers are going to go for that tonight.
Yeah, I don't expect them to do that as well.
And VinylKnight is going to go make his teleport up to Zora now. Ooh, and our sword.
Well, that's as soon as they get Dark World access, puts Mothula in play down.
4-heart green male Mothula, everyone's favorite time.
Yeah, right. That sounds like fun.
My race this week was fighter sword, Mothula, 6 hearts, green male. It was not a fun time.
Yeah, it's a rough one, especially when one hit from Mothula takes away a third of your health.
Mm-hmm. And with those nasty traps just bouncing around. Ugh. And what economic lesson are we going to learn tonight? Not bad. Kind of helps your menu stay decent. It has a couple of uses. Not worth 500 rupees in my mind, but...
Yeah, it doesn't... At this point, it's still early on, and it doesn't hurt, I guess, to be able to stun some enemies, but in general, using that kind of money and time to get that would probably not be something they would do if they knew what was on Zora.
Exactly. I think right now we're seeing more and more that seems to be pushing us away from an Aghanim seed, which is great. That can change in a heartbeat, but we still need at least 2 more items to do Aghanim, and we need 1 more to get Dark World. So I think if we're lucky here in the next few checks... Ooh! There's those silver arrows I was mentioning, and the hammer. We have Dark World access. Aghanim is dead.
Yeah, that's a good value from Sahasrahla. And yeah, Dark World access, it's going to be interesting to see where they decide to go. It looks from VinylKnight's side that they will decide to go to Outcast and Skullwoods area. Let's see if we get a Feast Town as a green pendant.
Ooh, that's a hard one to pass up, It's 4 chests already in Thieves Town. You'll be able to fully clear it. We have the Cane of Burna for safety. I can see our racers probably grabbing the green pendant early and checking that out.
Yeah, if Thieves Town is going to be any pendant, then why not green pendant? Because that's at least a little bit more value.
Yep, and the old axiom still applies. If you're gonna dip a green pendant dungeon, you should clear it. Yeah, as chat's saying, Chris has pointed out that this is most likely a snap decision from Vinyl. Ooh, so we've got red crystals in Swamp and Skullwoods, and our last pendant is in Misery Mire tonight. So it looks like we're going to get Village of Outcasts and Thieves Town check from Vinyl rather than a quick dip into Skullwoods. But Takaze is going basically the same route.
Yeah, and both having 4 hearts. wouldn't be surprised to see Takaze go down to Outcast as well first.
The thing is the chests you're checking in Swamp or Skullwoods are not exactly high risk of damage. So that is part of my thought there, but not a bad move by either racer by and large.
Yeah. The thing is, there's always that possibility of Mafia having the last item, and you're gonna have to beat Mafia sooner or later, so it would be preferred, I think, to be able to take care of both of those things at the same time.
Yep. Just arrows and uneventful item in Village of Outcasts tonight. So we're gonna get our dip into Thieves Town.
Yeah, and even though they have the cane, they don't have too much magic right now. There's a couple of magic pots in here, but you're gonna have to be a little bit careful in here as well, because Dark World kind of hurts when you're in Green Man.
It really does. So we've got 4 chests up in front, which one of them has to be the big key, and we've found a small key already. So at most, ooh, that's a payoff for heading down here. Hookshot is a nice find.
Yeah, that's a very interesting find. Already Green Pennant paying off.
Yep, so we have at most one more item in the front half of Thieves Town here.
And that hookshot also gives them a lot of access in Death Mountain if they decide to sequence break up there later.
I'm wondering if we'll get a stun check from either of our racers tonight. Or soon. We've got both the boomerang and the hook shot. It wouldn't be a bad idea to find out. Yeah, and a death warp from Vinyl.
Especially if it's something like full magic or something, it can be really useful. And yeah, VinylKnight skipping out after getting those first 4 chests.
I think he's going to do the quick chests on... Oh, or not. He's going to go check Bumper Cave and... what else is he going to go... Oh. What is he doing?
He could do...
Oh, here's Skullwoods. He's going from this side.
Yeah. And if he decides to go over to... ooh, that's an unfortunate death, though.
That hurts. And this is the risk of doing Dark World, a green male, 4 hearts, everyone. Takaze playing it a bit safer, going through the Grove area and going to go do the digging game.
So, the VinylKnight is heading back into the same portal, so...
Ooh, and our first shield, and Takaze saying, nope, I don't need no shields.
Yeah, the shields can be a little bit useful, especially in some dungeons, but they're not, like, critical to have.
It's nice with at least the fire shield, because there's... It just helps reduce damage from fireballs around. Ooh, full heart.
Yeah, that's our first heart container, full one that we found.
And Takaze making his way over to Hype Cave and possibly up to Pyramid.
Yeah, that seems like a very valid strategy right now. Might change depending on what we see from Hype Cave.
I wouldn't be surprised either if Takaze made a play into Pod. You're not going to get bow locked after that first chest, so not a terrible situation to be in.
Yeah, that's true. And if they know the dark rooms. They could full clear everything there.
Ooh,
And
half magic from Hype Cave.
yeah, that's not bad at all when you have the fire rod.
Yes, now that you've got a very solid weapon and more than, 6 or 8 shots of ammo. I don't know I'd do dark rooms on 6 hearts, but there's enough chests you can check without the most dark rooms.
Yeah, some of the dark rooms becomes at the very least easier when you have the fire rod. It's not going to help you in the dark maze, but it's going to help you on your way to Helmasar in the turtle room.
Yes. I'm surprised that Vinyl didn't use his silver arrows to clear those Gibdos out. Seeing as silver arrows do one-shot our wonderful mummies. Looked like an arrow capacity upgrade. And Vinyl Knight with a bomb jump to get bombos. That's a nice find.
Yeah, I would say so. Looks like they might take a death repair before going outside again. It makes sense. Sometimes it's better to just play it safe.
Mm-hmm. And Takaze making the play up to Catfish.
Yeah, this is one of those a little bit more out of the way locations that everyone is not always going to check it, especially not like pretty early on. So those are always extra valuable if they have something required.
And it's nice to be able to work. Ooh, and Vinyl taking a nasty spike blast and a B-Torp in a bottle on Takaze's side.
Yeah, and that's our first bottle, so that's a little bit more value than if they already had a bottle before that. Because now they can have another item location.
So we're starting to run low on checks, so hopefully Bottle Vendor has something, or not Bottle Vendor, but a Sick Kid has something worthwhile for us tonight. Looks like Takaze is going to sequence break and go up to Death Mountain, though.
Yeah, Vinyl Knight taking the full magic that you can get to in that room definitely hints a little bit to a attempt here at Mothula.
Ooh, 4-heart Mothula. Everyone's favorite experience tonight.
Yeah.
Our stun prize is 1 green rupee. Thanks, stun prize.
So with the Bombos tablet, the Bombos medallion, or with the silver arrows, you're not gonna have to spend too much resources to clear to keep those in the
Exactly.
room coming up here.
Carissa, yes, they are. In fact, that is the vanilla stun prize.
So going with Fire Rod here, and I think Vinyl is gonna wish that they had half magic at this point, but gonna have to be careful. It's gonna be interesting to see how they take on this fight.
There's going to be a lot of... Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say the hammer does a lot of damage against Mothula, but it's a little bit hard sometimes to get a good hit with it.
It's either that or spin attacks at this point, which neither are absolutely pleasant in here. Oh,
yeah,
ouch.
It was a good fight, but unfortunately, it's a little bit low on health.
Takaze finding the cape in Paradox Cave. Let's see what upstairs holds for us. Ooh, Master Sword and another 300 rupees.
Ooh,
Oh,
Titan Smith as well. That's a sequence break that's paying off pretty well right now.
uh-huh. 2 Bs for B strats. You know, Takaze taking B strats on Mothula would be an awesome experience tonight.
Yeah, the bees are very interesting on Mothula. Many times don't really help you too much because they sometimes just hit Mothula into the spikes instead.
So Takaze making his way up and going to do more of East Death Mountain. Ooh, sword on the island. So once we get that mirror, I wouldn't be surprised if our racers go and pop in and grab that.
Yeah, we're gonna need the mirrors sooner or later.
For Swamp.
Is a crystal, yeah. So if they still on Master Sword by the point they have to go to Ganon's Tower at the very least, then I think they're gonna pick it up. But I think they're gonna hope that they can pick it up a little bit sooner than that.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, and a small key, hopefully not driving us to a coffee break, but being aware that we might have to take a break. And yes, chat pointing out that we can sell those bees to the vendor for a nice 100 rupees each. Ooh, ice rod! That is awesome! We have our 2 rods for... Well, we have all of our key staves and rods for Turtle Rock now.
Yeah,
Not that anyone wants to do 6 hard green Turtle Rock, but...
Yeah, if Turtle Rock is Quake, they can full clear that right away.
As I said, everyone loves to do that as an experience.
Yeah, the thing I would say about Turtle Rock though is that most of the enemies doesn't have a lot of like random movements, so you can, if you know how to avoid it, you can like play around it and not have to take any damage at all. But
Yep, the only ones that I feel that really eat people alive, even experienced racers, are the chain chomps.
yeah, and they're just horrible sometimes.
Ugh, no one likes the chain chomps. And Takaze taking that death warp to get to the back, to the front of Hera Tower again. Vinyl going to check the pyramid and being disappointed with his find.
Yeah, it looks like they decide to go to Palace of Darkness instead, and
I did call for this on Takaze, and it's not a bad check at this point.
Yeah, I don't think so as well. I think this is a very good opportunity to do it, and we know that there's a lot of value on Death Mountain, but we haven't found a way in the logic to get up there, so it's quite possible to see the flute or the lantern in here as well.
Exactly. Also noting that Takaze found the second item in here in that compass chest, so we will not end up seeing the big chest. Ice Rod was a really nice present out of here anyway, so thank you, Trolldorm.
Yeah, not trolling Takaze today. Mollum going down, and the first crystal acquired for Takaze.
Ooh, and Swagnet on Vinyl side. those mini Helmosaurs getting hit by the hammer is not the easiest thing in the world. They have a little bit of that ice mechanics that makes it frustrating. I suspect Takaze is going to do Spiral Cave, Super Bunny, and then into Hookshot. It's 7 chests. It's why wouldn't you at this point when it's so nicely routed for you?
Yeah, I would like to see Takaze go up to use the portal on Tartarok first, just in case it's Quake, because they don't have the mirror. And
well, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, if it turns out to be Quake, they would have to save Quake to open that up.
Well, I wouldn't have a problem with him just walking past it to see what medallion he needs. Knowledge is power again.
Yeah, that's true, but if it is Quake, then they can full clear everything on the mountain except for the Ether medallion in one single go and not have to worry about it ever again. And they're gonna have to do Tartarok sooner or later as well.
I think, you know, our racers will want to have a couple of just a little bit more health just to deal with Turtle Rock because of how hard things hit in there.
Yeah, that's definitely a valid point as well, especially when you're in Greenmail. 6 heart is not very much at all.
Vinyl not losing to the Igors, or not Igors, but Mimics this time. Thanks, downgraded Red Boomerang.
Yeah, I think some people would disagree with you on that. But yeah, having 2 boomerangs is probably one too many.
Having 2 boomerangs is usually 2 too many.
Yeah, that's probably more correct.
I'm wondering if we're going to find the lantern from one of the next couple of chests on Vinyl's side, just because it is not lamp locked and falls in logic right now.
Yeah, that would not surprise me.
And was that Bombos I saw?
I did not get a good look at that.
Ooh, boots in pod. That's a nice find.
Yeah, gotta go fast, right? That means that this chest is a small key that they're heading to right now. The rest of the items should be in the back.
So we know Bombos is very accessible right now.
Yeah, it was. Where was that? In Skullwoods?
Yes. Vinyl not going to the back, just looks like he's death warping to go run through the middle. I don't know, or to get out of here.
Yeah, I think the death warped. Yeah, used to get into the front again. I'm not sure if that's faster than.
I'm not sure either, but it works. And a fetch quest out of Spike Cave. I'm wondering if that's going to have something worthwhile in it, since we started with Burna and early Hammer.
It could very well be so.
With V29, I found way too much value in what you get out of Spike Cave, so I'm really curious to see what that brings.
And TheVinylKnight is going to have to be careful here.
He's got the fire rod. I'm wondering if he'll light his way just to be on the safe side. Oh no.
That's
no.
unfortunate.
Takaze forgetting he has the flippers. I think that's faster swimming across. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I would think so as well. They could have used the hook shot as well. So they did a save and quit. Checking the mushroom straight away here. It's nothing of value. But is not gonna reset the game. They could have resetted the game here and do the fake powder instead.
I don't think there's a certain point where you have to realize I've sequence broken a lot by going into Death Mountain already. Do I really need to sequence break again and then have to be hunting multiple items to get back into logic?
Yeah,
that's the challenge.
Yeah, that's definitely true as well, because sometimes the sequence break can definitely lead you astray from where you maybe should be instead.
An item on the left chest in that dark room, not sure what it was. Hopefully we'll get a check. Probably a capacity upgrade, it looks like.
Yeah, it was pretty quick menu, so I didn't get a good look.
And what does fake Hellway have for us? Compass. Nothing left in pod that you can find without sequence breaking.
Yeah, so that's interesting. They got the boots before the dark rooms. It puts lamp or flute as a possibility in one of the boots locations.
Bonk Rocks, maybe King's Tomb?
Yeah, that's right.
Or no, not King's Tomb, because you need Titans or Mirror to get there, so...
Yeah, so maybe Mirror and Bonk Rocks then. Just because. So Takaze now heading over to Skullwoods is gonna get the bonus medallion and has definitely a lot of hearts, or more than the Vinyl had in their first run through here, and I think they got 2 blue potions as well.
They did. So I think we're going to see a Mothula kill here, and I'm wondering if Takaze is going to go straight up to Death Mountain to do Turtle Rock at this point. Still no part of logic to get up there, but might be the case.
Yeah, it's very possible. The thing with Turtle Rock as well is that most of the times it's not a massive time save to do it in go mode.
The only thing you really save is having to climb the mountain again.
Yeah.
And Takaze making his way through the party room.
So when they get this Bombos medallion, that's gonna mean that the Takaze only needs the book or the flute. Oh, never mind, they need the mirror as well for go mode, and they might need to pick up those boots as well. So
they need the mirror as well. Do we need anything else really? I don't think so.
We might need boots for desert, and we need a way to get into desert, so that would be flute or
book. So we're still a ways off on go mode, but we've got a lot of the really nasty chase items like the ice rod and Kana Samaria and fire rod. So we're in a good spot. Vinyl going through these, probably some of the hardest dark rooms in this game, if you're doing them blind.
Yeah, fortunately blind is not in this dungeon, so...
Ha. I see what you did there.
Yeah. Or did you?
That was the joke. Oh, these turtles. Oh, no. No, poor Vinyl. Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yes, it's definitely a painful death because it's a pretty long way back.
And we've abandoned that quest, and that's not a bad idea. There's still, it would be completely out of sequence, so, you know, deciding not to do it is not a bad idea. Oh,
Ooh.
and the hand grabs Takaze.
Yeah, it's very nice of the Wall Master to try to save Takaze from heading into a very dangerous fight, but it's not quite what they wanted to happen.
Again, I think Takaze is not sure that Gibdos can be one-shot via silver arrows either. Or is using it.
So VinylKnight heading into Eastern, this is definitely not a bad play, because this is one of the options for the Lantern at the moment.
Yep, we've got 3 chests possibly out of here. Hopefully not one of them's locked on Armos.
Yeah, so the Lantern is not super important if you know the Dark Rooms, but when you're still pretty low on health, the Dark Rooms becomes a lot harder, or more dangerous at least.
And especially the later ones where we're going to be taking more damage, especially in the Dark World, it's hard at Green Mail, even if you're good with them. Ooh,
very nice kill there from
in Eastern for Vinyl, while we get the powder for Takaze, which means the magic bat is in play now. Carissa, Vinyl died in the turtle room in Pod. Nice execution on Vinyl there to clear those skeletons before they spawn.
Yeah, so that's interesting. Powder has been in Logic for quite some time then, since they got Dark World access.
Yep, and it is not lantern locked either. This is an interesting play from Takaze going into Ice Palace. I mean, it is required. We have a potion on Takaze's side, so not terrible off to clear this, but it's not in Logic. So this could continue to put him in a strange position looking for that lantern.
Yeah, from Takaze's side here, it might be thinking like, I don't need a lantern, but the only problem that would be like not searching for it is if you're way up Death Mountain was the flute, because that could be your way into desert as well.
Exactly. It because of the items we're still missing, there is some information that is a little bit pertinent to know where that lantern is. Although I do not dispute the chance of seeing our racers do a full lampless run, it makes it harder finding your item sometimes.
Yeah, it's also worth mentioning that Ice Palace is one of those dungeons that is super fast in go mode. So Takaze is not going to be able to do that, but it's very possible that the VinylKnight is not going to be able to do it as well if there's something required in there.
And there's the lantern in Bonk Rocks, which means Pod to get the boots, over here to get the lantern. That is great. It also means a quick ascent up Death Mountain from Vinyl and to Eastern to get his in-Logic Titan's Mitts.
Yeah, that puts everything back in Logic, really.
Yep, double dip Ice Pal or double dip Pod is now logically required by this seed.
So Vinyl heading up the mountain is gonna get all of those valuable items that Takaze got earlier. Well, Takaze, I'm not sure if how many items they found so far in Ice Palace, but I don't think any of them has been of value if they actually have gotten anything, because we're getting to the big meat of Ice Palace right now. This is where almost half of the items are located. And having half magic with the fire rod is very nice on the boss fight in Ice Palace as well. You can even use bombos to begin with if you want to just break the shell with as little magic consumption as possible. But they're still on 8 hearts, I believe, so it's gonna be a dangerous fight no matter what, because Cold Stare does 4 hearts of damage, I believe, in Greenmail. There's that Massive Sword and Titan Smiths for TheVinylKnight. And they are gonna get the Ice Rod in Hera as well. And already having bombos could lead them to doing Turtle Rock straight away. It would be in logic for them as well.
Very true. It would be a very, very interesting play. Again, we've had a bit of issues with low heart situations for our racers tonight, so it could be a risk, but Vinyl's going to find 2 bottles and has that net, so we might see him grab some hearts.
Yeah.
Or fairies.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, there has been a couple of unfortunate deaths for Vinyl, and it's very important to not let that shake you up too much, because it's very important to keep your calm sometimes as well.
Yeah, it's easy to get tilted on something like that just is not fun to deal with, and it totally sets you off for the rest of the race. And, you know, with the last race in the brackets, it's you want to finish strong. So, and a nice finish from Takaze on Cold Stare.
Yeah, speaking of finish strong, that was a good fight, but I don't think we got anything of real value out of Ice Palace.
There was nothing worthwhile there. So hopefully Takaze goes and grabs those boots from Pod.
Yeah, and having Titan Smiths now in logic would be able to check King's Tomb as well. Or they would be able to check it anyways, but it's just a little bit higher probability to have something since it's in logic.
Let's see if those boots are the big key tonight, because, you know, we had one thing in Bonk Rocks. What if we have another in King's Tomb, like the flute or the book? It could be that's the big payoff. And even though Vinyl had a little bit of a rough start, could be well in the lead with that knowledge right now. It's also important to note, this is why Randomizer is never really a done thing at any point. Important finds like this can and will put you ahead.
Yeah, like all of the checks here in Death Mountain, Takaze did without the boots, so TheVinylKnight is gonna be able to do all of them a little bit more efficiently with the boots.
Indeed, and Takaze going to go check what the bat's gonna curse us with tonight. Mirror, and we need a way into desert. So we need mirror. Oh, there it is. It's on the bat. So we just need flute or book, and effectively boots and lantern for logic. But
that's interesting. It's very
Whew.
interesting.
That's a good find, Takaze.
Yeah, also puts everything in Swamp Palace in Logic, including the Pyramid Ferry, which Swamp Palace is blocking at the moment.
Yep, Swamp and Skull. And Takaze going to go finish Thieves, maybe? Question mark? Oh no, going to go do Ledge and... oh? No. Okay.
Yeah,
Oh, gonna go do Hammer Pegs.
yeah, I might do Hammer Pegs and maybe it's the Smith sequence as well, but going straight for the Hammer Peg. No.
Gonna go get Jeremiah.
Yeah. Yeah, I might get the purple chest as well because they haven't checked the Haunted Grove cave as well.
Yep. AKA Cave 45, the way it's named.
Yeah, they should just name every cave like that, including like, the dungeons as well.
I don't blame Takaze for grabbing that full heart. That's a good idea. Needing health at this point is a good idea.
Yeah, especially as long as you're in green.
If they were in blue or even red, you know, I can see them both skipping it, so... What do our breadsmiths have tonight? A little bit of love.
So, as soon as Takaze turns in this purple chest, they're gonna be right next to Swamp and have the portal to the Dark World as well.
I think we might get a swamp check, which, you know, if... So, conjecture here. If a key item is really, you know, boots to lamp pathing, and Takaze ends up doing a full clear of swamp, that's a lot of time sunk.
Yeah, for sure. That's one of those other dungeons that's very fast in go, but
Exactly, you're talking like a 5-minute give or take difference.
Yeah, especially if you have to do the left side as well.
At least we have the hook shot, so you don't have to actually climb up the left side twice.
Oh yeah, that's the worst.
Absolute worst.
Especially, actually the worst thing is if hookshot is in the left side, but it's in the second chest you check.
A little bit of love. Ooh, we're gonna get a Agina's cave check. Turtle Rock is Bombo's Sinek. I feel comfortable in saying it's Bombo's. I've seen it now. Vinyl not finding anything but the mushroom here. And Takaze rewarded with that single rupee.
So it looks like TheVinylKnight might be thinking about Ice Palace as well.
Yep. And Takaze is gonna go do Swamp. It's funny that fake powder would have been a worthwhile sequence break this time. Although, you know, how often do you really go for it?
Yeah, especially when powder was not very hard to get anyways. I think the fake powder is only useful, like, if that's the case. If the logic wants you to do something ridiculous to get the powder.
Vinyl playing it a little loose and risky here with half a heart. Ooh, finding the big key if you're doing a full clear of swamp right off the bat, that is a nice find.
Yeah, you don't have to go back in if it's on Argus or go back up the stairs again. So VinylKnight on half a heart here is gonna get 1 heart in this room. It's also gonna have to avoid these staffos. So having only half a heart, they might keep doing the bomb jump here because they're only gonna have 1 try, and even if they make it, they're gonna be on half a heart.
Well, there's another heart right away in a pot, so it's not. So they need to do it in 1 jump.
Yeah. It's risky for sure, but yeah, they're gonna skip it because they can.
Oh, they can't. Yeah, I don't blame them on this skip.
Yeah, and they can full clear this even though they don't do the bomb jump.
Yeah, if you're full clearing, I don't find the bomb jump really worth it because you're doing the loop anyways. So unless you don't have Canis Amaria, it really is the only time.
Yeah, the only way I would do the bomb jump if I have the Canis Amaria and I'm intending to full clear it, if I get like a small key in the first chest.
Yep. Takaze going to clear the back first and probably Argus before diving the left side because no one wants to do the left side.
Yeah, and especially when you're only looking for 1 item. Going to the back first when there's more items there as well, and you're gonna have to go to the back. Makes a lot of sense.
There were 2 bottles on Death Mountain, yes.
I think one of the bottles were from Catfish.
Oh, that's right. So yeah. So Vinyl only has 1, 2 for Takaze, and Bombos is Turtle Rock.
And we got a shovel from Swamp Palace.
Oh no. More fetch quests. No, Vinyl. Oh.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Getting hit and then getting pushed down as well.
And he had the right idea popping the cape. I think he just popped it a little too late. Boots is on the short bridge on Impod. Takaze making fine work of the puffballs protecting Argus, the mini cold stairs as they were.
Yeah, doing double spins or double puff spins, so that's nice.
Not even breaking out the fire rod or the silver arrows here. Just going for standard spins. Not a bad move. Safety. And safety seems to be paying off so far tonight. We've seen a couple of risky moves from Vinyl's side and them not paying off, so...
Yeah, this is one of those seeds where like it's hard to tell before you start to see that heart is going to be one of the biggest problems in seed.
Yep. Oh, and Vinyl was set up nicely there at one point.
Yeah, and down to the last chance here, so deciding to skip it again. So if you hookshot a heart, you have a 50 chance of getting 2 hearts instead. It's not always super useful, but if that's knowledge that they have, they could gain some extra health here in Ice Palace. So we have at the very least 1 item. I'm not sure, maybe even 2 items on the left side. I only saw the map. I'm not sure if we found a compass as well.
Takaze getting beat up by all the little fish jiggers. At least doing it the vanilla way, you don't have a chance of drowning a key, which is great. So, not the worst way to do this from Takaze. You know, now that Takaze has the mirror and bombos, I wouldn't be surprised if Takaze makes their way up Death Mountain to do Turtle Rock and pick up that tempered sword.
Yeah, that's a very good point. And tempered sword is very nice to have, especially in Turtle Rock.
It means you can nicely clean, I think, 2-cycle Argus, if that's the terminology you use.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and also doing Turtle Rock with the mirror is a lot nicer to do than without, because you don't want to leave Mimic Cave behind.
Oh no. And if Mimic Cave is in logic, yeah, don't want that hitting. And and there's the last item, I think, from Takaze in Swamp.
So VinylKnight here, they can open the room here, which they're heading to, and just turn the switch, go back up again, and jump down to a couple of fairies. Also having the net, they can catch one of them as well.
That is the best play right now. We're gonna go get our Pyramid Fairy check, because that did get opened by Argus, which is great.
Yeah, and we didn't get anything except for the shovel, so it makes sense to just start searching once again.
I think Takaze will probably make the pod check at this point. Especially with the mirror, he can then go to Eastern Palace if he wants to check. And a bust from Pyramid Fairy. Vinyl using the fact that the Fire Rod does Butter Sword damage on Cold Stare.
Yeah, very nice fight there. The half magic definitely makes that fight easier.
Yep, even doing these bosses with Master Sword is not a pleasant experience. So using all the weapons you have available to you is a great skill to learn in Randomizer. I wonder if Vinyl's going to go check King's Tomb.
Yeah, this would be a good opportunity to do it with the saving quit at Sanctuary.
And then I'm wondering if he'll go back and do Mothula right away, because that would be his best play.
Yeah, they might turn in the mushroom as well, and then they can fill up a potion at the same time, just like Takaze did.
Nothing good in King's Tomb. $50. Thanks, old dead man.
Yeah, not very rich for being a king.
And Takaze opting to death warp out instead of mirror just because of the health refill, and is going to check Eastern, it looks like. Not going to find those boots right now.
That's a very interesting play to do.
It's every moment Takaze doesn't spend checking pod for those boots, he gives Vinyl a chance to catch up and or overtake him, as he's going to be faster on movement on the overworld and faster on execution in pretty much every chance he gets. So it's going to hurt the longer he waits to find those boots.
Yeah, and the fact that they decided to leave the Crystal Dungeon and go into a Pendant Dungeon instead is very interesting.
Yep, this is, and Vinyl making the right play here. I'm glad to see this. Go Vinyl! Woo!
Yeah, this is gonna be a very good find for Vinyl, especially if they decide to check the powder straight away, and having that mirror makes it even, I don't know, maybe a bigger possibility, because the Smith sequence is usually when you would do the powder check, and with the mirror, the Smith sequence is a lot more appealing to do.
Yep, I think it's going to be very much what Vinyl does next. We're running low on checks for these racers. Vinyl, without the mirror, can go up to Turtle Rock, but is probably avoiding doing Turtle Rock until they have the mirror, just so they don't have to leave Mimic Cave behind.
Yeah.
And Turtle Rock is in Logic, so...
Yeah, Turtle Rock is definitely the big one right now, the highest density of checks. And
well, and Takaze did Swamp, which was 6, so... You know, the next best is a 5 out of Pod and a 5 out of Turtle Rock. So if Takaze does Pod, that's a smart move.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think if Takaze gets a lamp, they'll realize Turtle Rock is in play and head up to Turtle Rock. I really believe right now that is the play. Play it smart, Vinyl. Yep, you got this. Yeah, good job. Well done, Vinyl. Get your vengeance on Mothula. I think he's going to go and actually clear the rest of Pod, find his boots, and stop? Or is he going to do Dark Rooms and get his way and kill Helmasaur? Probably Helmasaur.
Yeah, at this point, I would say, like, it all depends on how comfortable the runners feel about the Dark Rooms, of course.
You know what? I'm also going to point out, back half of Thieves Town has not been checked and has 2 items, I think, left in it, plus the green pendant.
Yeah, that's very
true.
Might have been the book hiding out on blind all this time.
But Vinyl going up and is going to go do Death Mountain and what's called Turtle Rock.
Yeah, it looks like Turtle Rock play here without the mirror, unfortunately, but it's only unfortunate if Mimic Cave actually has something.
And you know, Mimic Cave never has anything important until it has to have something it has something you want, right?
Yeah, something like that. I guess
we're only looking for one item right now, and that's either the flute or the book. So, you know, you've got better chance of finding it somewhere in Turtle Rock than you do in Mimic's Cave.
Yeah. And our tracker pointing out that as they went up here without the mirror, also not going to have the tempered sword for Turtle Rock unless they find another sword inside here.
Which would mean Butter Sword is fairly easily accessible. We still haven't seen either of the males, which is interesting at this point. And Takaze getting his boots at 1 hour 16 minutes. Which we know leads to the lantern at Bonk Rocks.
Yeah, and when you got access to the bow so early, you gotta feel a little bit bad to get them at this point when you might be thinking, ooh, when did my opponent go into Palace of Darkness?
Mm-hmm. Kind of plays into the old adage that when playing Randomizer, you always expect your opponent to be making all the right moves and you've made all the wrong ones and that you are behind.
Yeah, for sure. Nice, and dash straight there with the King of Burnout.
And finding the big key is always a nice find early on in Turtle Rock.
Yeah, it's definitely makes the dungeon a lot smoother if you do it in Go mode, which Vinyl unfortunately is not going to be able to do. But
this mini Helmasaur has knocked our racers off, I think, 3 or 4 times. He's being a major boss tonight.
yeah, you should get a raise.
Oh, that hurts.
Yeah, chain chomps and green mails, not
Whew.
like this.
Whew. Go Vinyl. That was close.
Hey, we're gonna see what this item was here. Oh, it was the big key that they found in there.
Well, it's good to know where that was. And Vinyl stocking up on some fairies. Not a bad move at this point.
Yeah, the powder is a very nice safety to have, especially in the later dungeons where there's so many anti-fairies and bunny beams.
For me, I love it because it's, in my mind, one of the stronger items in the game, even though it has no real play in that case. It's just really nice to have to be able to do that. It makes Ganon's tower a lot safer.
Yeah, it kind of serves like making different parts in the dungeons a checkpoint almost.
Exactly. Yay, more health in Turtle Rock for Vinyl. That is a nice find going into Trinex with Green Mail and Master Sword. Means Fire Rod, Ice Rod into Hammer is always a pleasant experience.
Yeah, if they manage to pick up 2 more hearts here in Turtle Rock, they will be able to take another hit from Trinex.
And Takaze, like a boss, has made it through the Dark Maze.
Yeah, we never saw what that last item on Helmasaur was.
We will now. Ooh, the Arrow of Destiny in the big chest in Turtle Rock.
Yes, some might say that arrow is pretty unimportant, but if a VinylKnight jumps down to the Ganon fight with 4 arrows, it's going to be pretty happy about that arrow. Nice use here of the hookshot to be able to not take any damage from the 5 bars.
Another classic Mario handoff here. Half magic plus cape means getting everything on Laser Bridge really easy. Two more chests, something good. 1 key and a small heart.
Yeah, that's
That was a very unfortunate Laser Bridge.
yeah. It's gonna take the safe door here, and it makes a lot of sense. You don't want to have to go all the way back.
Yes, they did turn down a shield at digging game, Carissa. Two out of 10 Laser Bridge. Oh, Helmasaur taking the blast so you can't use your cane to Samaria strats.
Yeah, once again, they're proving their worth, and Takaze is in here on the Helmasaur fight, while Vinyl is gonna jump into the Trinex fight.
Takaze having nice patterns to break that face mask on Helmasaur King. That's his name. I almost feel if you're doing Master Sword Trinex, I kind of like to go after the ice head first, just so you don't have any ice on the field.
Yeah, I would agree with that, but Icehead was very nice here today, not
Oh yeah,
shooting ice straight away.
I've seen with Mastered or Tempered or even Butter Sword, ice head pops out and just like, yeah, I'm spraying ice. Screw you guys.
Ooh, he's gonna have to be careful now.
He has 2 fairies. I'm not worried about him completing this at this point.
Oh yeah, right, he has fairies. I forgot that.
And Takaze gonna get their lamp at 124-ish. Ooh!
Hey!
That
So
means Butter Sword is going to be in play, and most likely for Takaze.
So there was a sword in Turtle
Oh.
Rock, but that's pretty rude by the seed.
I think Takaze is gonna go complete Turtle or Thieves Town now.
Yeah. Interesting they skipped the boots locations.
Ooh, we haven't had a bumper cave check. I think we're gonna get bumper cave and graveyard ledge and King's Tomb all together.
Yeah, that would make a lot of sense. Ooh.
Cape for mail? Yes. Yes, please. Oh. And a mirror to get the bonk rocks too.
So it's just been sitting there waiting for the runners to go pick it up.
I totally thought Takaze was going to go grab that blue mail, which would be a nice idea at this point.
Yeah, it looks like they were about to do it, but it might be, at this point, having enough hearts to feel like they're pretty safe anyways, especially with all the safeties we have at this point.
Yep, powder, a couple of bottles, half magic. You're in a good place for, and knowing that Takaze most likely is going to get Butter Sword too.
Yeah, both runners might decide to pick that up.
I don't think Vinyl's going to go grab it though. Like, the amount of time to go grab it doesn't make sense for him, but for Takaze, going into Turtle Rock is going to be highly likely to grab it.
Yeah, it makes Turtle Rock easier, and they don't know that a sword is waiting in Turtle Rock, so...
Exactly. Pyramid Ledge being a terrible arrow capacity upgrade that we don't need. This Cadence Mario placement always is annoying. Vinyl getting his revenge on Helmasaur King.
Yeah, and Takaze is making the play for Third Rock as well.
So we still have Desert and Turtle Rock, or Desert and Eastern and Swamp for Vinyl. So Vinyl is a crystal behind at this point, but we're still hunting for that one go item, so whoever finds it, and I think it's going to be in Thieves Town or Green Pendant.
Yeah, that's definitely looking pretty likely at this point. Don't believe that Takaze never ever checked the shovel as well.
He has not. And a nice shot from Vinyl. Good job, and Takaze getting his third sword. Ooh, we are also going to get our first Mimic Cave check from Takaze too.
Yeah, and that would be really unfortunate for Vinyl if that turns out to be Flute or the book.
Because how long does it take for him to go back there and check?
Yeah,
it will be like the last check he makes.
Yeah,
in all honesty.
well. I would think so as well. Yeah.
And Vinyl walking out, probably going to go do a catfish check.
Yeah, they haven't done that yet, so...
It's a long walk to do Thieves from Pod, so I wouldn't expect that, but I'd expect a catfish. Oh, Vinyl has not checked Pyramid, so that too.
Yeah, so gonna grab another bottle here from Catfish, and after that, I mean, the Smith sequence has gotta be tempting at this point.
Indeed. The nice thing, we know that if book is found, it's not going to troll us by saying, hey, you should go check tablets. So that's a plus? Question mark?
Yeah, that does mean, at the very least for Takaze's side here, that once they're done in Third Rock, there's nothing left on the mountain at all.
Yep, which means the only reason to come back up here is to get to Ganon's Tower.
Yeah. And if a TheVinylKnight is deciding to go over to do the Smith sequence here, they might decide to do Thieves Town first.
This could be the play, ladies and gents. Although, you know, the play could also be in Takaze checking Mimic Cave. So we have two plays on the table, guys. And ladies. Tempered Sword making this a much faster climb for Takaze to go through Turtle Rock.
Yeah, managing to avoid the chain jumps there as well, very nicely done. And looks like Vinyl is doing the Smith sequence, which is good, because they're gonna get the mirror. But that's probably gonna lead them into Swamp and make them full clear it, which they're gonna have to clear it sooner or later, but if that's gonna have any value, then they're probably gonna hope to see Shovel having something. Oh, and this is gonna be unfortunate because they're gonna check Bumper Cave, but they have the frog with them, so they can't enter Bumper Cave.
Oh no. And Vinyl's gonna want that armor too.
Ooh, this guy has to be careful here.
I can feel the anger coming from Vinyl. Just I can hear it in the background.
Yeah, that's gotta feel a little bit bad when you're so close to it, but still you can't really get to it with a follower.
It's the risk of taking Jeremiah on the world tour.
Yeah, and TheVinylKnight instead deciding to just cancel the world tour straight away.
And here's no Mimic Cave check from Takaze. What?
I think they're just gonna check the big chest
Oh.
first, and if that has nothing, then you can do Mimic Cave.
Okay, I was a little worried there for a second.
Yeah.
Don't scare us like that, Takaze.
So Mimic Cave holding just some bombs, so
Oh. Okay,
that's
so
very good news for Vinyl.
it is fantastic news. Carissa, you might want to update Takaze's sword. He does have level 3. If you don't mind, please. And full clear swamp from Vinyl.
Yeah, and doing this before doing what's it called, the purple chest. So the purple chest ended up not having anything important. So if they never check that, that's gonna be a little bit of a time save.
I think the thing is there's more chests in swamp to check, and the chest is just a long slog. It's not a bad move on Vinyl's part to check this way.
Yeah, I like this, and especially you're at 1 hour and 33 minutes. It's this point you've been searching for one item for some while, so.
And you've got to feel so behind at this point where you're not finding it, and you're having to do things like fully clear swamp and nothing in Turtle Rock and all these things that really dishearten you.
Yeah, for sure.
Takaze, be careful. Because those lasers will one-shot you. Let's go take that safety exit.
Ooh, that's brave, but
Takaze feels comfortable making these dashes, I guess. Whew. Don't give me a heart attack, Takaze. Seriously.
Very nice laser skips there, but
Well done. Shovel has not been checked yet. Good idea grabbing that heart, Takaze.
Oh, and Shep making a good point. I do believe Takaze has fairies as well.
I think he does have a fairy and probably put it in with his other potion, so. Yeah, the casualness of that was just impressive. Just like,
Yeah.
I got this.
And from the menu there, we can see that Takaze definitely has a fairy.
That might be what it is. Nice switch on the weapon from Takaze before the head dies. Well done, phase 1, Takaze. Thank you for very clean fights. Both racers have done really well tonight, guys, even with a couple of early setbacks on Vinyl side. So let's make sure we give them a follow because they're putting on a great show, guys.
And there's that butter sword for Takaze. So, question here for Takaze, what will you do now?
I think he's going to go do Thieves Town. I think it's the logical check. Ooh, or not.
Ooh, gonna get the shovel check here first.
As chat was saying, if it is shovel location. This has been quite the route tonight in this race.
Yeah, the logic can be quite odd sometimes. I was hoping to see that vanilla flute used because
I love vanilla key items like that. But it's like hammer and hook shot out of Kakariko and Moon Pearl to pod to get boots, to get lantern off of Bonk Rocks, and Mothula to get powder to get mirror.
yeah, something like that. Ooh,
Takaze has checked the purple chest. I think it was 3 bombs. It was not a key item. Takaze making their way into Thieves Town, it looks like, or to go get Blue Mail. Thieves Town.
Yeah. Thieves Town makes a lot more sense since they passed up that opportunity to pick up the Blue Mail, so I don't expect them to ever go back there again.
And this very, very uneventful left side for Vinyl.
Yeah, I don't even remember what it was.
It was, I think, an arrow capacity, and then he didn't check the other chest on the right side. Takaze taking that shovel straight through this dungeon. Oh, Hellway.
Yeah, there's definitely a reason why they call it that.
Anti-Fairy not playing nice. Yeah, I expect Takaze will be fine with what he's got so far. 14 hearts, butter sword, and powder. Yeah, Ganon Tower should be pretty comfortable for him. And I mean, if he had problems with Desert, I'd be worried.
Yeah, that's not one of the most intimidating dungeons, especially not with this gear.
Only, I think it was week 2 that we had Bomb Escape, and it was bombs and Kana Burna Lanmolas, which was hilarious.
That sounds pretty amazing. Yeah, bomb landmola is never in logic unless you have something else as well, like a cane or a bow or something. But Kane and Bomb together is definitely logic, and we're gonna see a big chest here from Feast Town.
One of two items left. Oh, it's just a heart piece.
Piece of heart.
Oh, we're gonna get our shovel check on Vinyl side. He's not gonna love that little bit of love he's gonna find.
Yeah, at this point we have enough love in our hearts. We need something else here too.
My green pendant still has some validity behind it.
Yeah, it's very likely at this point.
And Takaze takes down Blind. I did not see that coming. Dun 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 dun. Hey! Ooh, Sanctuary Heart.
Ooh, nice. And that's a heart container. I think that settles it. I think the only thing we haven't checked right now is the green pendant.
I think so too.
The only question is it gonna be the flute or the book?
In hindsight, you guys should not be listening to my terrible puns.
Well, puns are supposed to be terrible, right?
Yep. Come on, Takaze, let's see that flute. And then kicking yourself because it was on blind this entire time. Oh, it is the flute.
And that puts the caster in go mode at 1 hour 40 minutes.
And probably worried based on how the seed has gone, because, you know, what if his opponent popped blind early and has had the flute and has been bouncing around everywhere? Toot toot, I'm a flute. And we can stand for our classic national anthem as we release the geese.
Yeah, you probably didn't see it, but I definitely did a salute here.
Perfect. And as I said, the old adage, if you're going to dip a pendant dungeon, you should fit it. A green pendant dungeon, you should finish it.
Yeah, and for every moment it takes for Vinyl to check if Feast Town is a head start that Takaze is going to have here in go mode.
And yep, Takaze is just going to go straight in. There's nothing Takaze needs right now. So it's, let's find that big key and let's go. You can't be locked by anything in Ganon's tower now because we have boots, so you can't be boots locked. We have at least a Master Sword, and we have Silver Arrows, so this should be a very, very quick and clean Ganon fight on both sides.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep, these racers are doing a fantastic job so far. It's been a great race to watch. Make sure you guys give them a follow if you enjoy what you're seeing here. As well, everyone else in the community who's helped, from Carissa, who's doing our tracking, and Sinek, who's doing our restream. Absolutely important for them to make this event happen. So a big thank you to all of them.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. And Vinyl is doing a little bit more of the overworld checks, which is a little bit unfortunate. It's not the wrong move, but it just is in this seed.
Yep, he's right in the right area though, so hopefully he decides to dip Thieves Town now. And cut out a couple of other world. Oh, no, 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 no. Don't grab that purple chest. Oh.
And going up to get the blue mail, it seems like as well.
Mm-hmm. Playing it as a safety move, it looks like. No. Where are you taking the chest, Vinyl?
Oh, they never check graveyard ledge because they got the mirror.
Didn't have the mirror. It's because I'm missing that fire blast by like a millisecond and not being happy with it.
Yeah, but getting that most down and getting the 7 crystal as well.
Yep. So, even though we are not on a speed gaming channel, there's a little game we like to play. It is Name the Chest in Ganon's Tower that has the big key. We have 22 chests. If you guys want to toss a number into chat and see what it could be before we get there. Walter, what do you think it's going to be in?
I'm not sure. I think most of the times I just pick a random number, but this time I'm gonna actually pick something specific. I'm gonna say it's gonna be Vanilla. So the middle chest behind Ice Armors.
So somewhere between 14 to 17 if they go left?
Yeah, I guess that would be the right one, right?
For me, I always guess number 5. I like to see it on the right side just because it's like 20% of the population goes right if they find a small key. And I kind of feel that would be fun. I enjoy that as a location, so.
Yeah, and it's gonna be interesting to see how they decide to route Ganon's Tower.
And Vinyl finding that very fantastic 1 rupee in Agina's cave.
Yeah, this late in the game when you're searching for that go mode item, it kind of feels like a slap in the face almost.
I think Vinyl's making the right play here. I think he's going to go Thieves Town, which is good. I don't know what other overworld checks he's skipping by doing this, and thus what time he's saving.
Yeah, I think he actually is almost bottlenecked to this at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
So, chest number 1. A small key makes the right play a possibility here. Ooh, there's a second one.
Yes, good job. Go right. Find that big key in that back room. I want my 5. Come on, guys. Nice work on the torch room, Takaze. Good job.
Yeah, Butter Sword takes care of those, keep those quite fast.
Chest number 3 has 50 rupees. Chest number 4, 50 rupees. Chest 5, big heart. Chest 6, 20 rupees.
So, taking out the mirror, deciding to not go full right, I think that makes a little bit more sense if you haven't done anything on the left side yet.
I've seen that hybrid right, so chest 7, 10 arrows, that hybrid run of go right side and then loop back to the big chest, as it were, becoming kind of popular with V29.
Yeah, I like if you want to go to Ice Armors, going the right side is faster than the left side, but you pick up more chests on the way to ice armors by going left.
Just quickly, chest 8 is a small key. Chests 9 and 10 were big or pieces of heart, and chest 10 was something that I think a small key. Vinyl making the right play here. Chest 11 having a heart. Chest 12. Yeah, that's 12. I was just redoing my math. Mathematicians can't count. Give me some credit.
So there's just
13.
another red rupee. Getting into
13. And moving on to the randomizer room. There's that shield. Number 17 having the 220 rupees. Ooh, we're getting close. Is this going to be a tile room big key?
Very well could be.
The odds are getting better and better. We only have ice armors between us and Bob's key.
Yeah, so 4 chests, and otherwise we're gonna have to do a tile room.
Everyone loves the tile room. At least they have the cape to trivialize it, so.
Yeah, and at this point, you're getting your go mode item at the last possible check you could do, and you might get your big key in the same way. It's never a good feeling, even though I don't think any of the runners expect the other one to gamble tile room, but we've seen a couple of those in the tournament so far.
And especially with Vinyl going to get his go mode item at an hour 52, you got to be really worried that your opponent has, well, although you haven't seen a dot done yet, you got to kind of go, is this real? Like, where's my opponent at? And there it is, in chest 20, chest 20. Numero 20. And now up the tower, we have 2 keys. Takaze is in a fantastic position and going to take one of those safety heals from those anti-fairies.
Yeah, that's the rest of the dungeon here is all up to execution, and it's such a big lead, it should probably not be too much of a problem for Takaze to take this, but it's you can never say never, and even though we know that Takaze has a lead right now, that's nothing that the runners have any knowledge of whatsoever, so they might be really nervous at this point.
Yep. Because Takaze could be feeling the same thing on the other side, that Vinyl's ahead of him, made a couple of better choices, and is just finishing his ascent right now. And chat, Flute was from Green Pendant, which was in Thieves Town tonight.
Yeah, both runners decided to check the first 4 chests and then leave. They didn't come back for a very long time.
Not the cleanest start to this gauntlet for Takaze, but lots of time to make up. Especially when the blue ponies play nice like that.
Yeah, and that was
beautiful.
A nice room.
Thank you, Stalfos. Everything playing nicely for him there.
Yeah, and getting another refill of your health here.
Ooh, missing his silver arrows. Landmos and mini Helmosaurs tonight.
Yeah, and you're speeding through the rest of the climb here into the torch rooms. And half magic, yeah. Don't have to worry too much about your magic usage here.
Nope. Just making sure you have enough for the next room, but there's a big refill here just in case. Smart grab. There are a couple of times where knowing what's hiding under some pots is really helpful in this game so far. That's one of them. Knowing that going to Vanilla Big Key in Mire has a big magic pot there.
Yeah, like especially the magic drops on the pots, and also bunny beams if you have powder.
What's really fun is so Vinyl's just picked up his 7th crystal. Good job on him, and now he's going to make his way up to Ganon. Is that if there's a bunny beam underneath a pot, you can powder the pot without picking it up and still transform it.
Yeah, it's a very safe way to do it.
And Takaze making their way up to Geometry Wizard. Oh, nice starting Aga positions. Ooh, nice. Looked like a double.
Yeah, I think that will count as a double. And
oh, so close. And we've got one more hit left to go.
And
there we go.
There we go, yeah. It's just a Ganon fight left, and Takaze, being experienced with NMG as well, is in a lot of ways over geared for this fight, so should not be too much of a problem.
Yeah, I would be surprised if Takaze has any problems with this fight. I think they have at least a potion and a fairy still sitting around, so they're in golden position.
Yeah, and with Butter Sword makes it even easier to get those one cycles on Ganon. You can do it with Tempered as well, but it's
even being in green mail and those hurting like a mother. Ooh, Vinyl noping out of right side and gonna go do left. Gonna save some time finding that big key.
Yeah. And that's the last hit. And phase 3, you need to hit 4 silver arrows here in order to take down Ganon.
Oh, and not being able to get a single hit or the torch glitch. There's our first of 4. Two. There's 3, and we've got one more coming up right after we light these torches. right after we go to commercial.
Yeah, see you in 5 minutes.
Suddenly, Vinyl's done. Takaze is still on Ganon. It's like, what? What just happened? And Takaze has finished Ganon, so we are going to get a time from him as soon as he steps through that door.
Yeah, very well played.
Fantastic, and we've got a time of 2 hours, and I do not have the SRTV channel open, so I cannot validate what his exact time was, but a fantastic time nonetheless from Takaze on this seed.
Yeah, his official time was 2 hours and 54 seconds.
Beautiful. So let's see if we can get Takaze in here to talk about this seed. GG, Takaze.
Thank you.
So, what did you think of that?
Where was the flute? Yeah, that was a little stressful. Especially since I knew the flute could kind of be somewhere really early on, and I didn't really consider it until later on, because I ended up sequence breaking to Death Mountain, and as soon as I found the lamp, I thought I was okay. It's like, okay, I'll just keep searching for the flute and normal place it. Well, that ended up costing me a bunch of time, I guess.
Yeah, with Turtle Rock not paying out, Swamp not paying out, all of the big checks that you had after that just were like, oh, great.
Yep. That's how I felt.
It looked like Lanmola's decided to give you a little bit of trouble tonight.
Oh,
just
yeah.
to tease you.
I actually really don't like Landmolus with anything other than the bow, just because I'm used to using the bow all the time for NMG, and when I have anything else, I try to use it. Oh, I have this gold sword, I'll try to use it. I have Fire Rod, I'll try to use it. Silver arrows are the worst too. How does anybody ever use silver arrows against Landmolus? Impossible.
It's such a bad timing, I find, on it. It's a weird timing. While Fire Rod is a little bit nicer, and same with sword spins. So I'm with you there. I don't like Lanmo either.
Lenmo 2 is even worse, just because of that extra thing in the corner causing even more lag.
The Medusa, just for artificial difficulty. So, interesting fact, Vinyl did the pod dip earlier than you did and had the boots, and I feel has made quite a lot of time up with that. I think you executed really well on a lot of bosses and had a very, very clean run, even with that flute being a little elusive tonight.
I'm assuming he probably found the flute a little sooner than I did.
No, he found it just as you were halfway up Ganon's Tower.
Oh, okay. So both of us got chilled by that.
Yep, it was.
Yeah. I guess he had the same thing I did, where he found the lamp and didn't have any reason to go into Thieves Town because there was so much open.
I suspect that's probably the case. He did find the lantern, as I said. He had the boots quite a well bit before you, which he popped bonk rocks and had it. I'm assuming you just noped out on the blue mail going, it's not worth it.
Yeah.
I saw the ponderance of, I should, I'm okay.
Yeah, it's kind of like, oh, it's an item, I should get it. Wait a second, it's just a blue mail, I don't really need it. And if I had saw that a lot earlier, maybe when I had a lot less hearts and I still had a lot of dungeons left, I probably would have gotten it, but I think at that point I only had TR and Desert left, so I was like, I have 13 or 14 hearts. That's what I have for an MG. This is fine.
That was arrows on the pedestal. it was one of those. They're just the seed started you off with almost nothing in the way of health, and pushed you into the dark world so early, and then gave you almost no health through a lot of those overworld checks and dungeon checks. That it was not a safe run, and Vinyl had some issues with that early on with death to Lanmo and a couple of deaths that weren't really planned.
Yeah, like I did notice that, and I thought that like I was hoping that would my kind of like NMG experience would kind of pay off a little bit. And if I had more hearts going into the Dark World, I probably would have decided to finish the East Town instead of just check the first half. But I had like 4 or 5 hearts going into it. Like no, I don't think I had any bottles. I didn't have powder. I didn't have anything. So I'm like, you know what? This is gonna just be a big time waste if I get the blind and then die. I guess I did have the cane, kind of burnout, but
Yeah.
I don't know if that. I'm not sure if that still would have worked out too well.
Yeah, with 4 hearts, getting bodied by blind once, and suddenly you're in a really dire position where it just sucked.
I probably would have been like, you know what, I don't want to do blind anymore, and then that would have even hurt more when I did, go back and kill blind and get the flute.
Mm-hmm. So you finished this tournament at 4 and 3. How do you feel about that?
If you asked me a few weeks ago, I was pretty darn salty about it. I thought I had a pretty good start. I went 2-0 the first 2 weeks. Then lost the 3rd week to Thelane, and he was a pretty good opponent. I got a little unlucky. So after that, I was like, you know what, this is gonna be fine. I feel pretty comfortable, and then I feel like the next 2 weeks I just got randed and really made some gambles that really didn't pay off, and other people made gambles that really did pay off. I was a little salty, but at this point, it's fine. I probably won't make it into the brackets because the chance of that is pretty astronomically low.
I think they were saying it's 4 people based on what they calculated. So,
and if I checked my, I think that the way they're determining it is the Buchholz score, the strength of your opponents.
Yeah.
And mine isn't it's not horrible. It's probably a little better than the average, but yeah, it's certainly not good enough to have any sort of chance.
I feel you there. My last match this week, I had a very similar kind of start to Vinyl, and it just, the way it played out, 30 plus minutes of just frustration and just poor playing, and put me into 3 and 4, and was just not pleasant. I'm happy with how I came out, but I'm happy with how you performed tonight. It was despite that flute, was a really good play.
Yeah, it was fun early on. I really liked the start of it, but then by the time it got to say I decided to go into ice because ice was open, it was an available place for me to go. I could full clear it. I do all of ice, get nothing. Do TR, get nothing. Do checking all these things. I'm I'm just not getting anything. Where is this flute or book? It could have been a book too, I guess. I need one of them.
Yep, and we were looking for that. So, great. So any other comments or thoughts at this point?
No, I see that VinylKnight has just dropped into Ganon, so I guess we can see how he does there.
Yep. So he picked up the mirror after you did. He went to Turtle Rock early and ended up not checking Mimic Cave. We were worried that the item you guys needed was going to be a Mimic, and a little bit of rage might have gotten released at that point.
That would have been really unfortunate. Yeah, once I found the mirror, I was like, this, because if I remember right, the powder came from Mothula, and then Batman had the mirror, and I thought that I checked that pretty quickly, so I felt pretty good about that. But then everything after that was just okay, I need something. It just took me forever to get it.
Yeah, and because he didn't do that check right off the bat or get the mirror before Turtle Rock, you grabbed the sword upgrade on the island and thus had butter. He did not, so he's only got tempered. Not that that makes a big difference on Ganon, but
Yeah, I actually don't like to see butter or silver. Is just
oh, that hurts.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Oh no! I just saw.
Oh, Vinyl. Oh, we all feel for you.
It's okay. I've fallen in that spot like at least 100 times. That exact spot too. It's like kind of a really awkward position if you want to go fast. You like wanna light the torch. You wanna hit him to get your silver arrow ready, and he just decides to not play nicely.
Yep. It's one of those things with how much you bounce off of Ganon that your positioning is absolutely critical, and I'm sure you can speak volumes to that as an NMG player.
Ooh, this is a very nice positioning though from Ganon.
Does he?
Oh, he
He's
does not
using
have a
Cave.
potion.
Yeah, he does. He has a
Oh,
he
no.
has a blue push, but
He
he
did buy a
doesn't
blue
know
potion.
not aware of hugging that corner. Oh, I see. I'm a little behind. Maybe he thought he had fairy.
I think because he did have fairies for quite a while in this race. Not remembering he released them all for potions.
Ah.
And a lot of bees in the bottles today. I was waiting for bee strats on Mothula, honestly.
I was tempted to.
It's one of my favorite uses for bees because they actually can do damage to Mothula. Usually doesn't do anything because they bounce him into spikes. But
Yeah, and their damage isn't super great. But hey, they do something if you just want to let them out and then just dodge the spikes for like 20 seconds.
I mean, if you have Fighter Sword, Fire Rod, and that's it, and a bee, I'd take the risk with the bee before I have to start swinging the Fighter Sword.
Oh.
Ooh, this is a nice hit there.
Nice double.
From Vinyl.
Yeah, I had a little bit of struggle trying to get any multiple hits. Which is why I prefer not to have silver so I don't have to worry about it.
And that's Ganon down for VinylKnight.
Yeah,
Very well played.
Let's get some GGs in chat for Vinyl, guys. That was a fantastic finish, despite that fall in there.
Yeah, and VinylKnight has finished with an official time of 1 hour, 2 hours and 14 minutes and 22 seconds.
Now let's see if we can get Vinyl in here. Did their stream just drop? There it is. We'll get him in here and see what his thoughts were.
Yeah, he'll be coming in quite soon.
GG, Vinyl.
I think your mic is muted. Okay, so VinylKnight is working on getting the mic in order here. So it was a very interesting run from both of you here. It was definitely the early game gave a lot of options to where to go, and including sequence breaking as you, Takaze, decided to do.
Yeah, I don't think I've personally had a sequence break that has taken so long for it to like get unbroken.
Yeah, it took quite a while.
I was constantly worried about that, since I knew one of those like I could have missed a really like obvious spot for the flute.
So unfortunately, it seems like VinylKnight's. Oh, never mind. Maybe it works right now.
Hello?
Hello, we can hear you now.
GG.
Yay.
Yeah, GG's. So, what are your initial thoughts about this seed?
I think I made some stupid mistakes early on, and that's probably mostly where I lost the game. That thieves be on those first 4 chests, and that was problematic. Set me behind getting the flute.
Oh,
I
I feel
also
you
got
there.
the fire. Yeah, when I got the fire rod early, I for some reason decided I'm going to go right into the woods with only 4 hearts. That didn't work out, so I took a death there. And that wasn't very good. Just early troubles, mostly.
Yeah, there was a couple unfortunate deaths early on that set you back a little bit. Both of you ended up doing the first 4 chests in Feast Town and then going back for the green pennant as more or less the last possible option.
Yeah, I had a feeling that either Takaze did that as well. I would have lost way earlier.
Interesting point. You found the boots substantially earlier than Takaze did, and that did help you keep up with him, as it were. And it was really just coming down to who finds that key item first. We were worried that it was going to be in Mimic Cave, and that would have been the last place you would have checked.
I was scared for Mimic Cave.
So you were with us at the same time. Good.
So I guess one question.
I was just, oh, sure.
I was just going to ask, since I know I sequence broke Death Mountain. I don't know if I heard, did you do the same VinylKnight going up Death Mountain without the flute, or well, probably without the flute, but without the lamp?
No, I didn't sequence break Death Mountain. I went into Eastern and tried to do that without the lamp and failed. That was annoying. No, I did the lamp. I cleared the 3 items in Eastern without the lamp, but there was the back, so I didn't go there. I failed Pod without the lamp. I tried to sequence break that because I was there. I think that was probably the only sequence break I tried.
Did you go there? Did you have the bow by that point, or did you try to sequence break without the bow? Is that what you're saying?
Oh, I had the
Bo was in Kakariko.
Oh, right.
The hype well.
Yes. Yeah. That was quite the well. I remember it now.
Yeah, that was a pretty good Kakariko.
Yeah, we got a lot of items, just no hearts early on.
Yeah. Well, overall, I am glad it was. Thank you for being my last race, Takaze. I had fun. Thank you, everyone who put it all together so that it would get restreamed.
For sure. And a big thank you to both of you for putting on this race tonight. It was a great race to watch. Fantastic. I recommend you guys, if you get a chance, to listen to the VOD. I enjoyed it. I'm sure Walter did. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks to everyone here. Thanks to the admins and mods as well.
Yep, without the coordination and these people taking time out of their own personal lives to make sure this tournament has happened, we wouldn't be here. So everyone who's made this happen has been a huge impact to this. Do either of you guys have any last things you want to say before we close her up?
Just GG to VinylKnight. GG, or good luck to all the people advancing onto the bracket stages, or good luck to the people who still have a match to complete this week.
I second everything Takaze just said. I also want to thank the viewers because they're awesome too. I probably wouldn't have such a big show if there weren't viewers to watch it. And I want to say thank you to the community. I haven't for any of my restreamed races yet. I'm fairly new to the community. I've only been playing Randomizer for about 4.5 months now. I started back in January, and it's been great. I'm having go. Thanks to everyone.
Awesome. So thank you so much, everyone. And just pointing out, on Speed Gaming Channel 1, we have ZZZ Cube versus KGB the Hero going on. And in 30 minutes on Speed Gaming 2, we have Demon RHK versus Hitaka. These are all great races at the end of the week, guys. So if you have a chance, go check them out. Go watch. Enjoy some of the fun that's going on. And I'll give the last word to Walter.
Yeah, I can more or less only second what all of you pointed out, as this has been a very fun tournament so far, and we're getting to the end game of the Swiss rounds now. But we have a brackets following this up, so it's gonna be a lot more rando coming up here. So stay tuned for that, and yeah, there'll be a lot of races for the rest of the week as well. And take care. We'll see you the next time.
Thank you, and have a great night.